Columnist and Black Lives Matter activist Shaun King wrote in his article for the Times Magazine, I am not suggesting that people should know the vast history of Africans just for knowledge's sake or for a sense of cultural pride. Although each is important, people should learn this history because everyone should know that my black ancestors were humans, not slaves. These Africans were kidnapped and later enslaved. He also wrote that school children as well as adults should understand the breadth of black heritage. The purpose of my video today is to explain why I believe that African American history should be taught more in HBCUs. I believe that during my high school career and my freshman year of college, I did not learn anything important about African American history. I only learned what the textbooks wanted to tell me. I believe that the textbooks only veered towards white American success. I believe that the textbooks only showed my ancestors as only being slaves. I believe in people who went against the law. I believe that there's more to the African American history than we were taught as students. I believe that we should all know who Angela Davis is, who James Baldwin is, who Ralph Abernathy is, instead of just knowing who Martin Luther King, who Harriet Tubman is. There are plenty of black activists who we should all learn about and who all took great steps to get us to where we are today. I believe that people in HBCU should be more respectful of African American history because we are a black university. I believe that a lot of things are pushed under the carpet towards African American history because they don't want African Americans to speak up and to stand out and to know that they are powerful and that they once were powerful, and how things happen because the white Americans were actually afraid of our success and of our strength that we have. I believe that Black History Month should be taken more serious. I believe that every day during the Black History Month at an HBCU, we should be learning about different activists. We should be taking different steps. We should be promoting our African American history. We should be celebrating where we are today. I believe that HBCUs are not as interested, or as they don't acknowledge African American history as they should. I believe that we as African Americans have a lot of power. I believe that we can take this power and go deeper into our success. We can have our own businesses, we can have our own careers. I believe that if more people knew about their history, things would be different. During my sophomore year of college, I actually changed a lot. I learned a lot about my history in my class. That wasn't even a history class, it was an English class. My teacher was so into black power, black history, black leaders, things that were going on in the world then. And when I was a sophomore, things that was going on that was dealing with black people, things like Eric Gardner, things like Sandra Bland, just things we were not learning about in my other classes, things that the teachers were hiding behind closed doors. I believe that without my English teacher, I would be blinded to a lot of things as my peers are today. I learned a story from him which made me open my eyes a lot about African American history and how African Americans are leaders and how we are powerful, and how honestly the people who aren't African Americans, the Caucasian people, are actually terrified of us because we are powerful and we are strong people. I learned about the Tulsa Race Riot. I'm just going to give you a little insight on the Tulsa Race Riot. It was on May 31st and June 1st, 1921, where a group of whites attacked the black community of Tulsa, Oklahoma. They burned everything to the ground. There were African American owned hospitals, African American owned restaurants, African American owned schools. They tore everything down. They killed over 50 people. more than 800 people were admitted to hospitals. The events of this massacre was omitted from local and state histories. Therefore, a lot of people do not know about what happened in Oklahoma in 1921 because the school system did not want us to know about this. They did not want us to learn about how powerful we can be and how we can own certain things that the white people own today, how we can own our own hospitals, how we can own our own schools and still be powerful and be, what is the word I'm looking for? Be, I guess, somewhat intimidated by. I believe that my English teacher taught me a lot. He taught my class a lot. I came in there with the mindset just that this is a typical HBCU. I probably won't learn anything dealing with African American history because I have not learned anything yet dealing with African American history. And learning things from him took me into more of me wanting to research things about African Americans, me wanting to teach my peers about African American history, me wanting to teach my teachers about African American history. And I believe that as a student, I should be getting taught this from my teachers, that my chancellor should make Black History Month all about us learning about Black history, since we are an HBCU, learning about the powerful activists who led us to where we are today, learning about the steps we took, learning about the inventions we created, learning about how Black people are actually powerful and how one day we could own more HBCUs, how one day we could own our own companies. I believe that if more people in HBCUs could understand more about why it is important and why the history is so important at an HBCU, they would appreciate it more. More people would come to school. More people would try to do better. More people will want to own their own things. More people will want to graduate. I believe that I have a purpose in life. I have a purpose for why I'm going to school, whether it be animal science right now, maybe a year or two from now, I might try to minor in something dealing with politics or something of that nature, just to teach people what I have been being taught and what I have been teaching myself about my history as an African American.